y'all, and welcome to the Chroma side of YouTube. So in this video I wanted to show you guys about a few things. First of all, a ton of people are asking me to show what the tray looks like after it's been finished, and it has indeed been finished. So this is the serving tray that I did. I actually painted and poured resin in it, and then I went to my local dollar store. I believe it was the Dollar Tree, and I bought a bag of shells for decorative accents, and literally this bag cost me $1. I still have some left over, as you can see, and I put them in here with E6000 glue, which is really good glue for doing things like this. And then I went to my Hobby Lobby, and these little teeny tiny starfish were on sale. They were marked down from $5 to $1.50, so I grabbed these and embellished the shells with them. They are glued down, they don't go anywhere. This is what it looks like, and it is meant to be an accent piece to sit up like this or to be hung. I believe I'm going to put 2 hangers here and hang it on the wall as a wall piece. It is dry, it's resin finished, so the artwork underneath cannot be destroyed by the moisture in the air, and shells come from the ocean, so they can't be destroyed anyway. So this is the serving tray. I just wanted to show you all. Let me pull you down. I'll give you guys a close-up. There they are, those shells. They're just sitting in. I did contemplate filling the entire tray full of resin so that it's one piece, you know, taping off the handles and just filling the whole thing with resin so that the shells were underneath resin. But then I was like, no, because then it'll be way too heavy for me to hang on my wall. Okay, so then the second thing that people are asking to see are the handbags that we did. Now this one I did not take to the person who wants to buy, because I messed it up twice. Number one, my tape wasn't completely covering right here, and so there's that. And then number two, when I was checking them to see if they were dry, I stuck my finger right here. In fact, you can see it's the perfect size of my finger. And then I tried to put some paint on there just to cover it up. So this one did not make the cut. As you can see, the acrylic dries just like vinyl would, but it is adhered to this canvas material, and it does not crack. I have 2 of these that I did earlier in the year for you guys on the channel, and I have been using them since, and I have yet to crack the paint. So there is that. That's how it dries, and like I said, it's very flexible, but it dries almost like a vinyl, and it does not affect the liner on the inside at all. Just make sure you tape off really, really well, because you could have lines like that. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And this, I'm going to, last thing that I wanted to show you all was I had a few questions when I was doing my bags, how I tape off and mask my bags. Now this is going to be an experimental one. I actually have taped off a lot thinner to see if I can cover more of the bag with the paint, because I used, as you can see, there's a pretty big sizable gap here, which I'm okay with. I love the look of this. I even like it the way the paint runs out from underneath. It kind of makes the artwork pop, but I'm gonna try and get it bigger, because you know. Anyway, so first things first, let's get this one here taped off. It's not exact science the way I do this. Let me go grab my ruler. Okay. Alright, got my ruler. I'm just going to grab a regular old marker. I usually try to do this with a pencil, but I do not see one here at the moment. So, marker it is. Okay, so I like to leave the design on the front. So I turn it over to the back and I zip it and I make sure that this is where we want it. So if you want to be a little more particular about it, this is how I do it. I take it, I measure out, a lot of the times for these smaller bags, I like to do about 1/4 of an inch. Let's see what I did on this black one. Yeah, a little more than 1/4 of an inch is what I did on the black one. It looks like I did 1/2 inch on the black one. So, I'm going to go ahead and mark off 1/2 inch on this white one. And I just put dots. I don't get fancy with it. I don't put lines either because that's just more for me to cover with the paint. So then I'll line up my dots. I'm actually going to turn my thing over because this has a little ledge on it. Line up my dots. And then I have a place to put my tape. I just use regular old wall painter tape that I get from Walmart. You know, what you would use when you're redoing your house. Now I want the dots to show when I put down my tape because I want the paint to cover up the dots that I use to tell myself where the paint should go. And again, this is what I do. This is how I do it. I'll go in here at the middle. Now these, I don't get real particular because the seam actually bows a little bit right there. So I don't really get particular. I measure from the middle of the bottom here. And I just kind of go from there because if you could drive yourself crazy trying to do this. Trying to get it exactly perfect because the seams are not exactly perfect. These bags I buy from Walmart and they are not that expensive. Now see, that to me looks extremely uneven, so I'm going to redo that. That's 1.5. That's not even 1.5. So I'm gonna move that up a little bit. That's 1.5. So my dots were wrong on that one, but that's okay. I'm just gonna fold this under here just to get some of that sticky out of the way. And I'm gonna turn it and keep working. I keep rubbing it because I really want it to adhere to the bag. Now, when I do the zipper part, I measure from where the canvas actually starts. Not from the zipper, but from the canvas itself. And there you go. Now, this is the easy part. I'm actually going to cut this excess painter's tape off because we don't need it. It's just going to get in the way. Okay. This is where it gets easy. And then just to make my life that much more easy, I just trim the excess. Now you can save this long piece here, which I have been known to do, to use on your next bag if you're doing quite a few of them at a time. And there is that. Now the reason why I trim off the excess, I find it easier to maneuver when I'm painting when I trim off the excess. So that's done. Now last but not least, the last step that I do is I take my scissors and I take the handle part and I rub it along the edges of your tape. If you don't, you will most definitely get bleeding. Sometimes I don't do this, sometimes I do. But it definitely helps keep your paint from bleeding into your whatchamacallit, onto your bag if you want a more crisp separation. My zipper here wasn't covered all the way. So I just put a little piece of tape on there and fixed it, and I'm going to do it here as well. Where's that piece right there that didn't, there we go, here. I don't have to rip off any more of that tape, I'll just use the tape that I took off. And this is why I saved the excess tape that I cut off, because sometimes you may need it to cover something that you forgot. There. So there is that. Now, all I have to do is take me a paintbrush and my white gesso and cover the middle of this with white gesso. Now, I like to prepare my surface with the white gesso because I feel like it helps the paint grab. You don't have to use white gesso. You can use black gesso. You can use clear gesso if you want. If you want to leave some negative space in there. I always try to pull from the tape onto the bag here. I don't really want to cause bleeding, but sometimes it happens. And I'm just literally working in the gesso into the canvas bag. Now this is canvas bag. It's unfinished canvas though. You don't want to use it like the canvas that we buy from Michael's is pre-gessoed. If you were to buy canvas and try to stretch your own canvas, you would have to gesso it before you worked on it. And there you have it. That is a perfectly prepped handbag. And there you have it, the second prepped bag. Okay, those bags are prepped, and I'm going to prep some more, and maybe next week we will be doing more bags. As of right now, I am going to go and work on a few other projects. But as always, it is always, always, always a pleasure to see you all and to be able to just do awesome art with you all. Well, there you have it. We have masked off some handbags. We have talked about the serving tray and showed the finished product. And we've also talked about our beautiful fashion bags and showed the finished product on those. If you ever have a question, please feel free to email me at chromastormarts@gmail.com, or you can visit my website at www.chromastormarts1.com. If you like what I do, please give me a thumbs up for a like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications whenever I put up new videos. And I hope you guys were inspired. I hope you try to do different things. You can even embellish your pours and make them into wall art. Well, they already are wall art, but anyway, I hope you all were inspired to try your own thing and try new things, and I hope you have a really, really great day. Bye-bye, y'all.